Good morning, everyone. As we begin the third trimester Graduate School General Assembly, let us come together in a moment of reflection and reverence. I kindly ask everyone to rise for the invocation to be followed by the singing of the Philippine National Hymn. Philippine National Anthem. Thank you very much and magandang umaga PWU. I am Roland Emil Peñalosa from the School of Pharmacy and welcome to the third trimester Graduate School General Assembly. First of all, we would like to thank each and every one of you for choosing PWU as your stepping stone in reaching your goals of lifelong learning and professional growth. For today's session, we are to answer common questions that you might have in mind, such as admission requirements, university research, and ethics policies. But before all of that, let us take a step back and watch the highlights of the second trimester General Assembly and appreciate the humble beginnings of this 105-year-old educational institution. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed some highlights of our last General Assembly. We are also thrilled to showcase our array of graduate school offerings and state-of-the-art facilities we are continually improving, all designed to further ignite the passion within you. For today's session, again, we will be discussing different topics from admission requirements and policies up to the services offered by the university, including university library and the different policies governing the graduate studies. They say all roads lead to Rome. In our case, all students, and I mean all students, will one way or another find their way to the office of the university registrar. So help me welcome as he enlighten us and give us a walkthrough on the admission requirements and the team, Mr. Fernan Glemao. But before that, ayan. To start this journey of limitless possibilities, please join me in extending a warm welcome to the distinguished and eloquent Dean of Helena Z. Benitez School of International Relations and Diplomacy to give her opening remarks, Dr. Rosario Manalo.
Good morning, everybody. Excuse me for being late for 3 minutes. Thank you, Dean, for asking me to be the speaker this morning. But to tell you honestly, I don't know what I will talk about. It is not very easy to talk about a doctoral degree. Usually, this is a concept that I have, and it doesn't necessarily follow that the rest of you believe in the same thing. The concept that I have of an individual taking up a doctoral degree is someone who's mature, because it's not an easy job to do. It's a very serious thing. And it gets a lot of your time. But the most important thing is you get wiser. And that is what I always expect of people who are in the educational system, who are educators. And of course, specialists in their own areas. They may have doctorate in philosophy, doctorate in engineering, doctorate in whatever profession. But a doctoral dissertation is not an easy thing to do. And I'm telling you that because of my own experience. It took me 4 years to finish a doctoral dissertation, and I'm graduating on September the 2nd with a doctoral degree. Now, some people will ask, why do you have to take a doctoral degree? As in my case, I have three undergraduate degrees, 2 master's degrees, 3 honorary doctoral degrees. What for? I've taken the bar examinations, and I have passed the Foreign Service competitive examinations. So what for? When you are aging, you find for things to do. That's why it may not apply to the young people because you're young. The reason why you are taking a doctorate is you're ambitioning, and rightfully so, to go higher up in your career, in your profession. That's why you want to take it up. But elderly people like me, you guess how old I am, and I'm not going to tell you how, but I'm old. I have to find something that is constructive. All my children are grown-ups. You may have the same experience. And so you have to give something that is worth your time. I don't have any one of my children with me. So I say, I'm an educator now. I'm no longer a diplomat. So I better learn something more than what I already know. It's not being ambitious. It's being, what you would say, entertained during life as long as you exist. But if you don't like a doctoral degree, then don't proceed. But if you love it, please proceed regardless of your age. And these are some little advices that I can give you. I don't know anything else what to tell you about pursuing a doctoral degree, except perhaps that you found one of the best advisors here. And the other news for you is this. When you write your doctoral dissertation and bind, it has already been decided by the higher-ups in this university that will produce only 2 copies. 1 copy to be given to Madame Sarkozy, and the other one to be kept by you. Madame Sarkozy is going to give it to our librarian. Am I correct or not? That is so. That gives you less expense, and it's more practical. You keep your copy, and you'll have another one in the library, but going through Madame Sarkozy, who is the Dean of Research, right? So there you have it. I don't know what else to talk to you about except to wish you good luck if you pursue your doctoral dissertation. Except to let you know I will help you where I can help you. I'm a person who is not, as we say in Filipino, maramot, and I love the students of PWU. Although this is not my alma mater, I am a product of UP through and through. Nevertheless, I highly respected Helena Z. Benitez. I like the environment in PWU, and I learned a lot since I became a professor here at the University of at the Philippine Women's University. If you have any questions, I'll be most happy to entertain them. I'll give you the answers if I know the answer, and if I don't know the answers, I'll just tell you, sorry, but I don't know. I'm not all-knowing. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you very much to the Dean of School of International Relations and Diplomacy, Dr. Rosario Manalo, for your inspiring words. Again, they all say all roads lead to Rome. In all cases, in our case especially, all students, and I mean all students, will one way or another find their way to the halls of the office of the University Registrar. So to help me welcome, as he enlighten us and give us a walkthrough on the admission requirements and the registrar's team, let us all welcome Mr. Fernan Glimao.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Philippine Women's University. I am Fernan Glimao from the Registrar's Office. Today, I was tasked to present the admission requirements of the PWU graduate school students. First is the original copy of the Certificate of Transfer Credentials or the Honorable Dismissal. Next is the original copy of the Transcript of Records with remarks copy for Philippine Women's University. Next is 2 pieces ID picture. Certificate of Employment if you are currently employed or barangay clearance if unemployed. Photocopy of your PRC license if applicable. Photocopy of your PSA birth certificate. Photocopy of PSA marriage certificate for married female students who uses their husband's last name. Please be informed that the official copy of the Transcript of Records with remarks copy for Philippine Women's University is a school-to-school process, but we can only request it once the original copy of the Certificate of Transfer Credential is submitted to us as the request comes from it. As you can see, most Certificate of Transfer Credentials or Honorable Dismissal has the upper and lower portion. The lower portion is used by the PWU Registrar's Office to request the official copy of your Transcript of Records with remarks copy for Philippine Women's University. Your previous school in turn will send us a copy of your Transcript of Records with remarks copy for Philippine Women's University. Now let's proceed to the admission requirements for the international or foreign students. If their previous school is located outside the Philippines, they need to submit the following: original copy of the complete scholastic records duly authenticated by the Philippine Foreign Post Service in the country to which the school is located. Original copy of the police clearance certificate issued by the national police authorities duly authenticated by the Philippine Foreign Post Service. 2 pieces ID picture, photocopy of passport bio page, photocopy of birth certificate and marriage certificate for married female students who uses their husband's last name. For international students whose school is based in the Philippines, they need to submit the following: the original copy of the Certificate of Transfer Credential or the Honorable Dismissal, original copy of the Transcript of Records with remarks copy for Philippine Women's University, 2 pieces ID picture, original copy of the Certificate of Good Moral Character, photocopy of passport bio page and visa, photocopy of ACRI card, photocopy of birth certificate and marriage certificate for married female students who uses their husband's last name. Please be informed that all students will not be allowed to take the comprehensive exam and enroll thesis, dissertation, case and policy paper for non-thesis program unless all requirements are met or complied. Now let's proceed to the student visa and alien certificate of registration identity card. Your application for the conversion of your valid visa to student visa will only be processed by the university upon submission of the complete documentary requirements of the university and the Bureau of Immigration. And due to the recent controversy in Cagayan Valley concerning foreign students, the previous turnaround time of 1 month for student visa processing is now 3 to 4 months upon submission of all documentary requirements to the Bureau of Immigration. And after the issuance of the student visa, the processing of ACR, I-card commence, and at most it will be released after a month. The processing fee is more or less 14,000 pesos, depending on the dollar rate at the time of payment. The validity of the student visa is 1 year. For the visa conversion, kindly submit the documentary requirements such as medical certificate and drug test result from level 3 hospitals, your passport, and fill out the SIGAP form once enrolled, as BID will penalize you for late application of visa conversion. For student visa extension, kindly submit the documentary requirements, passport, and fill out the SIGAP form at least 1 month from the expiration of your current student visa. BID will penalize the school around 50,000 and the student around 25,000 for expired student visa extension. And the student will be required to pay both fees, as this is not the fault of the school. Please be informed also that BID will require a written explanation from student visa holders who extends the visa but failed to enroll continuously during its implementation. BID will also penalize the students and the school if the reason of non-enrollment during this period is not acceptable as per evaluation of the BI personnel. I would like you to know of the following staff at the registrar's office handling your records. Kindly take note of their email addresses. Ms. Emily C. Buliser, handler courses under the School of Nursing, School of Hospitality Management, and School of Pharmacy. Ms. Maureen Beno Sarjo, on the other hand, handle courses under the School of Education, School of Tourism, and Conrado Benitez Institute for Business Education. Mr. Jason P. Ilaran, handle courses under the School of Arts and Sciences, School of Music, School of Fine Arts and Design, School of Medical Technology, and HCB School of International Relations and Diplomacy. Mr. Raymark S. Rivero, handle courses under the Philippine School of Social Work, School of Nutrition, and the School of Food Science and Technology. Ms. Amy Espiritu is the PW Liaison Officer, the one in charge of processing the student visa of all foreign students enrolled at the university. For any question or clarification, you may email us at registrar@pw.edu.ph or the corresponding email addresses of the staff handling your records. Thank you again and welcome to the Philippine Women's University.
Once again, thank you very much, Sir Fernan, for shedding light on our admission process. Now, as we navigate the waters of graduate studies, it is with great pleasure that we welcome the next speaker, the Director of PWU Graduate Studies, Dr. Emerita Zornosa, as she guides us with the graduate school policies, guidelines, and the academic calendar. Let us all give her a warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Mukhang hindi pa kayo kumain, walang boses. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, thank you. I am so thankful seeing you personally today, even though our weather outside is too hot. But then, here in our room, we are providing you the best temperature that you can get. Okay, good morning. I am Dr. Emerita Sorno. Highlights of our calendar. Here are the important dates to remember. Today is our General Assembly, and then our trimester break will start at July 7 to to August 2, 2024. And take note that the last day of submission of our annotated bibliography is July 6, 2024. Please prepare your research writing procedure before the deadline, because I can see how people, we Filipinos, are always on the last minute. And providing an annotated bibliography is not that easy. It is not a one-night stand. You need to, you need to process it, reflect on it, and write on it. That is the very essence of annotated bibliography. And this annotated bibliography is very important for your research writing. Without those, you will not have guidelines. And the WCE or OIE schedule, which is the written comprehensive exam, this is after you finish all your academic subjects and complied with academic requirements, as mentioned by our registrar, our admission requirements. You can now take the written comprehensive exam scheduled on July 20, 2024, which will be conducted face-to-face already. Because during the pandemic, we entertain online oral integrative exam, but based on the requirement of CHED, we need to go back slowly to face-to-face. So by July 20, be prepared for those done with their academic subjects. We will conduct our written comprehensive exam face-to-face on July 20. Now, to give you an advanced school calendar schedule for the first trimester, those students who will continue to be part of our PWU community, here is our first trimester calendar. On the first day is August 3, 2024, which will be synchronous. And on the third meeting, we'll have a face-to-face up to September 14, 2024. And then on the meeting number 8 and number 9, which is the week 8 and week 9, we will have a blended research. This is the time you can discuss with the library or ask help from assistant from our advisor for you to conduct the annotated bibliography and researches. And on the week 12 and 13, you can continue also the research work. Now let's go to policies in graduate studies. The first policy in PWU is our medium of instructions is English. So for foreign students who is taking masteral and doctoral degree, it is expected from you that you can speak fluent in English, because having that degree or certificate is something else, because you will join the academe. And if you cannot express in a universal language like English, PWU, you are using the name PWU because you are a graduate of PWU. So we encourage you to do something to be a fluent English instructor in the future. The second policy is the policy on plagiarism. PWU espouses highest level of integrity in scholarship and academic standards. We are required to give credits to someone's ideas, thoughts, words, and methods of learning in our research study. This is where you will apply also in annotated bibliography. Because academic fraud is failing to give citations of other people's work or simply copying an individual's output without permission is illegal and punishable by law. And number 3, we have now the policy of inclusion and diversity. This is what we call the cultural quotient or cultural intelligence. PW promotes a culture of acceptance of diverse similarities and differences without discrimination. This is what Dr. Manalo is telling us. The environment in PWU community is a good ambience for education. Number 4 policy is the data privacy. PWU is committed to protecting the privacy and confidentiality of your personal information, whether you are a student, a faculty, a staff, or administrators. And number 5 policy is delivery of instructions. We are on a blended research approach with emphasis of creating a research culture. So from day one that you enrolled with the PWU, your idea and thinking is all about research. That's the trend now. So we are encouraging everyone that you publish your research because that is the requirement of our CHED. Now, after completion of our academic subjects based on your enrolled curriculum, we will now give you a chance to take the comprehensive exam, a qualification before you do your research writing. This comprehensive exam aims to test the graduate student's mastery of the discipline or area of expertise acquired in your program of study. The requirements to take your written comprehensive exam. Now, talking of the residency rules, for master's program, completion of the academic requirement should not exceed 5 years from school year of entry to the program, and failure to complete within 10 years, a refresher course of 9 units will be required. For doctor's program, completion of the academic requirements not to exceed 7 years from the school year of entry to the program, and failure to complete within 12 years, a refresher course of 9 units is required before you can continue. I repeat, failure to comply with the stated time frame for degree completion may subject the students to a refresher course of 9 units. The general requirements for graduation. We have 10 items to consider. First is you need to complete the approved curriculum based on the program of your study that you enrolled. Second, you need to maintain your grades, cumulative weighted average grade 2 and higher for master's program and 1.75 in doctor's program. Number 3, as mentioned, you need to have a passing grade for your written comprehensive exam. Number 4, you need to pass the pre and final oral defense. And number 5, you need to submit 2 hardbound copies of your approved thesis or dissertation and a digitized format of the entire academic paper to your school dean. And number 6 is the submission of 1 article for publication. And number 7, submission of abstract in publication format to our Research and Development Office. And number 8, completion and submission of all documentary admission and academic requirements. And number 9, payment of university fees and submission of clearance to the graduate. Now, to give you a clear view of our process to get a successful diploma for our masteral and doctoral degree, I created a template or a process flow wherein it will be clear for you in 1 page. First, you can enroll whether online or on-site. It's already available in our portal that you can enroll online, but you need to comply all the admission and academic requirements as discussed a while ago. The number 2, you need to complete all your academic subjects based on your program or curriculum that you enrolled, with compliance with the residency and the accumulated average grade. And then number 3, the WCE, Written Comprehensive Exam, and your annotated bibliography should be submitted and applied with clearance. So your clearance processing will be every phase of your program. Right after your academic subjects, you need to apply for clearance for you to comply and get the application for your written comprehensive exam. Because I am receiving some queries that some of you do not know that there is a written comprehensive exam required for you to start the research writing. Now, number 4 is the research writing. There are 4 items that you need to consider. First, students should submit a concept proposal to your dean. And then, second, dean will assign the respective research writing advisor according to their expertise. And then third, you need to pass the pre-oral exam or defense. And then 4, after application of all the recommendations of your finalists and advisor, you need to depend also the final defense, presenting all the data gathering that you have undergo. Both defenses, students need to submit signed application forms and clearances, and the manuscript 10 days before the actual defense to give way to your advisor and panelists to review your research writing paper and provide you with the recommendations and improvement. Giving it on the day itself, you are the loser, not the advisor or the panelists. So give time for them to review before the actual defense. And I tell you, all your advisors and panelists are your friend. So don't stop asking, because in asking you will learn something, and that's part of research writing. The number 5 is the final review of your research paper. Based on the suggestions and recommendations of your reviewers and panelists with guidance from your advisor, you need to finalize all your writings or research writings. And the number 6 is submission of 2 original hardbound students' copy and the library with the signed approval sheet to the school deans. For endorsement to the registrar, the approval sheet, and to the library, the hardbound. No more CD as required before. Is it clear? No more CD as required before, because we are no longer requiring the storage of your research through a compact disk. And the number 7 requirement is submission of abstract publication format or compendium to rdo@pwu.edu.ph with the file format of abstract_PWU school name _family name.doc. And then number 8, submit 1 article of publication in a peer-reviewed journal. This requirement is from the CHED, and this is effective 2019, but due to the pandemic, the implementation of this was delayed. And then the last is, congratulations, you can now apply for your graduation. Now, I will be launching also the customer satisfaction survey for any transactions that you are dealing with PWU. So for every email from our graduate deans and program chairs and also from me, we will attach a QR code for our customer satisfaction survey. This is our program to improve more our excellent service to all of you. So please be gentle to spend a few minutes, 1 minute or 2 minutes to fill up the customer satisfaction survey every time you have to deal with any transaction with PWU. We will send you the guidelines all about how to use this customer satisfaction survey. Now, for the online submission of thesis and dissertation, since our ICT manager is not around, let me give you a glimpse of how to submit the thesis and dissertation online. The email format from the student to dean is this one. Can you take a shot of this? Or I will send you a student user guidelines for this, for a detailed and compact instructions on how to send online your thesis and dissertation which are approved. Now there is a required file format because if the file format naming is not in correct convention, it will be rejected. So the file format would be, if thesis, if you are on a master's degree, you use thesis, use school name like SPAD or CBIB in abbreviation form, and then the last name, the first name, academic year, which here is AY 2324, the first 5 words of your thesis title, .pdf. Here are the examples. Thesis SPAD de la Cruz Juan AY 2324, Cultural Intelligence, Inclusive and Diverse Leadership. And another example is dissertation CBIB, Peter Paul, Annual Year 2324, Practitioners Age of Artificial Intelligence. We will have a Q&A portion later for you. If you have any questions, just hold for now and we will. This is the comprehensive submission process for thesis and dissertation electronic hardbound formats. First, step 1, student must prepare their thesis or dissertations according to the prescribed format, including all necessary components, such as the abstract and the approval page or the approval sheet. Students submit their thesis and dissertation via email for the electronic copy and deliver 1 hardbound copy to their deans in the respective schools. Step 2, students should send the completed thesis and dissertation as a PDF attachment to the designated email address for submission. The subject line of the email should follow a specified format. As mentioned a while ago, thesis, school, mention your school name, then last name, first name, academic year, and the first 5 words of your thesis title. Then on the step 3, dean verification, your dean will verify if all needed requirements have been submitted by the students, ensuring that the electronic and hardbound copies are complete and meet all the formatting requirements. So electronic copy, hardbound copy, and complete file documents, abstract and approval sheet included. The approval sheet should be signed by all the members of your reviewers, else it will be rejected. Then, acknowledgement of dean. After your submission and everything is approved and complied, the dean will give you an acknowledgement receipt of both the soft copy submitted via email and a hardbound copy. After verifying all the requirements, Dean sends an acknowledgement receipt for all submitted documents as in this format. So after this, you will receive a client satisfaction survey. As mentioned a while ago, for every transactions that you undergo with PWU, we are requesting you to please accomplish the client satisfaction survey for us to improve more and reach that service of excellence for PWU. Your satisfaction survey will be a great help for us to improve for more and achieve the Excellence Award. Thank you, and let me welcome you once again for a continued learning adventure together with us and choosing PWU community to help you discover the joy of growing and be a successful, empowered professionals who can make a difference and provide change to innovate further. Good luck and welcome to PWU.
Thank you once again, Dr. Zornoza, for sharing the graduate school policies and guidelines. Your insights are invaluable as we navigate this academic journey. Please do take note of your questions. We highly encourage everyone to ask them later at the open forum to be addressed properly by our distinguished guests. So now let us shift gears and explore another vital aspect of our university experience. Just as Newt Scamander traverses the magical world to discover and care for fantastic beasts, our university librarian and the university library staff embarks on their own adventure within the vast realm of knowledge, seeking out hidden treasures and guiding students to the wonders of our library. To answer your question, fantastic books and where to find them, here are the services offered by the university library. Later on, our university librarian, Mamporita Uzon, will be available to answer all of your queries during the open forum. So the university library, specifically for us both, the main and the science library, is open Mondays to Saturdays from 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And what I like with them is that even if they are in a private institution, they implement a no noon break policy. So even if we are on our lunch breaks, you could borrow books at the university library. For face-to-face interactions, in order for us to borrow books, book loans and renewals, we need the following. First, we need a borrower's card, a validated ID, an enrollment assessment form, and we also need a portal main menu document before we could borrow a book. And we also need to submit 2 copies of 1x1 ID photos at the circulation section charging desk. So all of us, we are allowed to borrow 4 books at a time for 1 week. And we could renew it for another week if there is no demand for the book. For the online public access catalog or OPAC, OPACs are available inside the libraries to assist library users to access library resources through the author, title, or subject access points. The university also boasts its e-library. So how can we avail of our electronic books? We need to email your proofs of enrollment for the current term to the librarian in charge of your school department. And proofs of enrollment are, 1, it could be your enrollment assessment form, or it could also be a screenshot or a printed copy of your portal main menu document. The library databases are of the following. We have ProQuest 5000 Special Collection. The username and password are all flashed on the screen. We will also be giving you out a copy of this so that you will be guided on how to access our library databases. As well as Gale Virtual Reference Library. The password will be available upon the request. You could contact the University Library at info.library@pwu.edu.ph. Or you could also contact our university librarians, Ma'am Purita Uzon, Ma'am Marisa Franco, Ma'am Carmina Hoson, Ma'am Librada Simangan, Ma'am Nolaisa Ventanilla, and Ma'am Ginaline Verino, depending on your program. So with some of your admission, graduate school policies, and library resource inquiries answered, joining us today are some of our talented graduate school students from the School of Music, representing a rich diversity of our university community, our home. For today, my 2 semesters of Mandarin will be tested. Ayan. So we have Tan Shu Yao to play a traditional Chinese string instrument, erhu, and Wang Shu to play the keyboard, showcasing the harmony that transcends borders. Let us all give them a warm welcome as they fill our hearts with their melodious performance. Once again, let's give them a round of applause to our talented graduate school students from the School of Music, which is again recognized by the CHED as a Center for Development for their captivating intermission. Your melodies have truly enriched our gathering for today. Now, as we delve deeper into the realm of academia, it's an honor to introduce our next speaker. He will be sharing invaluable insights on various aspects of research and development. From our strategic vision of our Research and Development Office to the intricate nuances of research writing, including best practices and common pitfalls, his expertise promises to illuminate our path towards academic excellence. Without further ado, let us all welcome the Dean of School of Arts and Sciences and the Director of PWU Research and Development Office, Dr. Leonardo Munalim.
Research toward a transformative knowledge society.
Research is alive. It's alive.
At PWU, research is alive.
It's alive.
At PWU, research is alive.
Of course, it's alive. Good morning, everyone, to the University President, to our Chancellor and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, the Deans and Program Chairs who are with us in person today, Dean Abellana, Dr. Mensch, my predecessor, who else? Dean Prime? Dean Earl is here. I don't know. So I don't want to use my eyeglasses. Welcome to the Filipino Women's University and good morning. Do you know the person sitting next to you? Come on, let's make friends. If you don't know the person, you can say, hi, I'm Leo. Of course, okay, I'll give you 30 seconds. 30 seconds, start now. Come on. This is the best time for us to know one another. Just say hi and hello, especially for those who are newcomers. One more time. How about Dean Prime? Oh, you introduced to Dr. Mensch. I'm Dean Prime, of course. Okay, thank you. Once again, good morning. And my topic has been titled, next page. Of course, the design is very PWU. Why do I highlight this one? Because that's part of, it's part of our endeavors as researchers to continually be on a lookout for emerging patterns of communications. For example, nowadays on social media, that can be your inspiration and motivation and concepts when you write your research. So in fact, later I'll be sharing with you one paper that I have completely submitted to Oxford University Press, and the topic is, of course. And we have a number of social issues now emerging features that you can analyze, not only in the humanities, but in health sciences, that can particularly advance the scholarship. So don't stop looking for some exciting research topics in your area. So welcome again to the Graduate School Assembly to here at the Conrado Benitez Hall of the Philippine Women's University. I'm Leo Manalim, the Director for Research and Development Office. Next page. I will tell you that research is never complete unless you share it with the community. With that in mind, next page, we have, in fact, 6 in-house journals that you can choose from where you can submit your articles, in fact, even your graduate studies academic essays. You can share your academic essays with these journals. Number 1, we have PW Research Journal. This is a flagship journal that we have in the university. You can convert your thesis and dissertation to this MRED format, and then you can submit your papers to us. I'm very happy to report to you that all the deans and program chairs already finalized the format for the MRED. When I say MRED, it means introduction, methodology, research, and discussion. So we do away with the usual 5-chapter thesis and dissertation. We converted it close to the format which is camera ready for publication. It would be easier for us to convert. Although this is in the MRED format, you can still revise it to fit to the standard of a standard MRED format, which is usually 8,000 to 12,000 words. So we also have Bidliseo Journal. If you think that your academic essays are worthy of sharing, you can consider Bidliseo. You can have an academic essay of not more than 5,000 words. Make sure there are citations to make it more scholarly. Sabangan would be coming from music and fine arts and design, mostly the qualitative one. We will be releasing one issue this first in May for the travelogue from School of Music and School of Fine Arts and Design. And we have compendium for your abstracts. This is only for your abstracts. You can just copy your abstracts from your thesis and dissertation and submit to us if you're willing to share with the community. Again, that's also one way. Abstracts are the window to your papers, and we basically don't have enough time to read the whole paper, so abstracts would suffice. We can, in fact, get some insights from the abstracts themselves. So you can also consider Bugkos, but Bugkos will collect all abstracts that are produced during our PW conferences, like what we shown to you a while ago. And number 6 would not apply to you because this is for the undergraduate level. Next page, for some policies on the publication, we have our gabayan. RDO email always send you help desk where the materials can be of help to you. So gabayan is one of them. And next one, we have intellectual property policy. So make sure you're aware of this. We'll be releasing this at the behest of our Chancellor and Presidents. We'll be providing you the PDF of the Intellectual Property Office, but I'll be sharing with you a few stipulations that matter to you as students. Number 1, I'd like you to read this with me, if you can. The students own the copyright of their thesis and dissertation, but said students shall grant the university a royalty-free license permission to reproduce, publish, and publicly distribute copies of thesis and dissertation in whatever form, electronic or otherwise, for educational and other legitimate purposes. 2, next page. The student owns the patent. I guess Dr. Mensch contacted me 3 days ago because the student has produced patent right on her dissertation or thesis from School of Nursing, right? So the student owns the patent right or their invention, especially force from hospitality management. arising from thesis and dissertation, but said student shall grant to the university a royalty-free license permission to reproduce, publish, and publicly distribute copies of the thesis in whatever form, and electronic or otherwise, among others. And if there is a possibility for commercialization, if you believe that there is commercial value in your work, we'll go to commercialization. The owner of the intellectual property, the university, is free to commercialize the intellectual property under the terms of his policy and to execute such documents as the university deems necessary for the purposes of commercial benefits of the IP consistent with the objectives of this policy. Of course, I believe we'll be having a contract signing so that you are really aware, you are aware of your rights, among others. Last one, in regard to commercialization, if the university decides to commercialize this one, the intellectual property, the university shall inform and, as necessary, consult with the creator on the produced courses of action so that you are really aware of this. So let's go to the research tips. This is the heart of my presentation. Okay, so this is our number one. I come from Bohol, so I speak Cebuano. Somebody contacted me through Facebook and said, Doki, nakoy ka-suggest title o thesis pang maritime? The student is, or the friend is asking, do you have a thesis title to suggest? I never answered. Sin lang. Sin zone ba yun? I did not reply. Come on. Okay. So, if you said, I don't have any title in mind, that's not my problem. Researchers cannot just wait for the title to fall under the guava tree. What you will do is to spend time reading at the library. So reading is the backbone of research. You cannot just ask someone to say, give me titles. You cannot just do that. So read until we die. So reading really is the backbone of research. And from reading, we can conceptualize, and you can now come up with your own titles. So don't ask titles from your friends. You are in the best position to conceptualize your title. And that can only be done through reading and reading and reading. Okay, number two. This is one example that I shared with you. This has been submitted to Oxford University Press. My paper on I am a licensed professional teacher, LPT, of course. I am underemployed. Filipino teachers' identities and social suggestions from transitivity in small genre FB post. This is what I was telling you, that as researchers, we should be always on the lookout of some emerging forms of communication nowadays, especially in social media, understanding, for example, content creation, those, sorry for the word, stupid content creators, just for the sake of fame. How do you problematize that? There are so many issues nowadays that can be worthy of dissemination, worthy of codifying, and that's our goals as researchers, to really intellectualize and codify all of these sets of knowledge. So continue understanding your discipline and looking at the possible ways and pathways for research titles. Number two, next one, writing is not linear. Writing is a process, so it means writing is never linear. In fact, you can start in conclusion, you can start while writing your title, while reading, you can immediately start with your conclusion, because the moment we start our research, we always have our hypotheses and our assumptions. So when we have all of our assumptions, we can in fact predict, so that when we get all of the result, you can just rephrase it and fine-tune them to align with the results. So you can start anywhere. You can start with the discussion, you can start with the conclusion, recommendation, in fact, the moment you write. So writing is a process, and my tip for you is that when you write, you should be a reader. When you write, when you read, you should be a reader, not a writer. Because when you read and write, it would be very helpful for you to critically evaluate critique a particular literature. And this is one of my papers. I will tell you all of these sets of research are working. So I can work, I don't finish one paper and submit, but in fact, I do it simultaneously. In 2019, I published 9 articles published in Scopus and other peer-reviewed journals. So this is one of my tips and techniques. So I don't write just one paper in one sitting, one night stand, sabi ni Dr. Sornosa. In fact, last night, I slept at 2 o'clock. I was writing a book chapter for IA for Japan. At the same time, I was writing another paper at the same time. Why? Because the moment I read a particular research literature, it could also mean other things. So when I'm reading a particular study, I said, oh, applicable to doon sa paper na isa. So I am hitting too many birds with one reading. So only to find out after 2 weeks, I said, wow, I have written a number of paragraphs. So that's metacognition. If you're from School of Education, writing is a strategy. You should be able to hold that kind of disposition, to have this kind of mentality that writing is a process. So in one sitting, in one night sitting, you can produce 5 paragraphs, each for each paper. So writing, again, is a process. Writing is never linear. Next one, and this is one of my tips, banking system. And that will boil down to my other tip, banking system. You are banking. You are gathering a number of paragraphs, and then I will say, after writing like 2 weeks, I will stop writing. I will now try to reorganize my paragraphs. There. The whole reconstruction is enough for a paper. I'm just waiting for the data. And then read and write at the same time. In fact, when I read, I have 2 windows on laptop. One is the reading article, the PDF, and the other one is the MS Word. So when I read, I write. I read, I write. I don't read and just read the whole night, no. So that's a strategy. You read and write, rest and stop and reorganize. There you can submit, as long as you have the data, you can submit to the journals. Just this week, I submitted 3 articles to Scopus and SCCI. And people are asking, how did you do that? Are you cheating us? No, come on. I am an educator. I am an education graduate. I have this strong metacognition. So writing, again, is a process. Next one, focus on novelty. Novelty means something new that can advance the scholarship. When you're writing a paper, there should be something new that you can add to the body of knowledge. You need to justify. I'll show this to you. This one is a very poorly written research gap. The writer writes, there have been many studies on stress and depression, but no attempts have been conducted in Trinidad Bohol, for example. So the gap that the writer is trying to address is geographically. So no studies on depression and stress in a particular locale or locality. This is a poorly written gap. Why? You need to be able to justify what makes this paper so special within that particular locale. We know that depression and stress are universal issues. Will this advance the scholarship when you're studying stress and depression in a particular place, like, for example, in Malate or in Nakpil? So you should be able to justify what makes that group so special to further advance the scholarship. Because if nothing to prove, that's not research. Because I always tell my advisees, if there's nothing new in your paper, do not ever see me. So when you see me, you should be able to argue that this is something void in literature. But this one, Come on, stress and depression are already known literature. And then you said, kasi sir, we don't have stress and depression studies in Trinidad Bohol or in Malate. But how would you justify that? That studying that will make or will provide disagreement or agreement with other studies, particularly on the disagreement of already known ideas. Depression and stress are common. So you should be able to justify what makes your paper new, the compelling need. Dr. Dumlao uses the word compelling need for that current study. So I guess this is okay as long as the writer is able to justify what makes this locale a compelling need for the current study. Okay, so I'll be sharing with you next page, sending you a separate email on how you can argue that your paper is unique. So I'll be using the Swales model of creating a research space, the CARS model, next page, and including Phillips and Foss tips. So there are many of these that you can consider when you're looking for something new to your paper. Okay, next one. Next one, be prudent with the choice of the methodology and methods. Next page. Okay, this one. People would say, oh listen, my dear students, people would say, Dr. Dumlao, and all of you, I can just choose interview because that's the easiest one. Wrong. When you're studying depression, for example, you cannot just choose any techniques and methods without considering the epistemological and ontological grounds and moorings. So how would you understand depression? Can you capture lived experiences of depression by just survey questionnaire and then testing a hypothesis? Do you think that's the best methods to use? Or you'll conduct a focus group or one-on-one interview or a case study or a field study? Which one is better? So you should be able to understand the nature and the origin of knowledge, especially from health, allied health, for example, humanities, IT. So you cannot choose any. Kasi you said, I am in my province, I cannot collect data, I cannot do an interview. So how would you provide a concrete, a solid conclusion, valid conclusions when you want to understand depression, but through survey questionnaires? And you know that survey questionnaires can be not real. The answers are real. In fact, in me, when somebody asks me to answer a survey questionnaire, in 60 seconds, tapos. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know that. We don't want to spend our time answering very long questions. So try to look at the epistemological and ontological moorings of your study. How do you understand the nature of knowledge and the origin of knowledge? Will you be using phenomenology, or you will be using a mixed mode? If you want to provide a survey questionnaire that should be triangulated using, it's up to you to make sure that you're really culling real data. Okay, next one. Okay, this is for the panel members. Partly misconception. The panel members would say, oh, please cite research papers only within 5 years. Come on, that's a malpractice, partly malpractice. Why? If you go to health, allied health, the nature of the body of knowledge is so quick. I mean, perhaps within 5 years would be okay. But for humanities, you cannot require the student to only cite literature within 5 years. How about classic literature, like in the 1990s? We can still cite them. But for related studies literature, within 5 years would be ideal, but that does not mean that you are discouraged to cite other sources beyond 5 years because of the nature of study. But if you think the recent studies would would be helpful in establishing the need and the compelling need of the study, then that's okay. But panel members and writers, you should be able to know that this is not a hard, fast rule, that 5 years is a requirement when you cite literature. Okay, this is an example. Okay, this is an example. The panel member suggested the original paragraph was written by the student. Santos 2009, how many years ago, maintains that love is blind. And the second page, next page, the panel member said, of course, I'm not telling you which university. The panel's suggestion said, lagyan natin ang as cited in. So Santos 2019 as cited in Tyros 2014 so that the paper becomes recent daw. Well, to me, as a reviewer in an international level, I don't like this. Why? How about if Santos 2009 was never cited? And then you ask the writer to say as cited in. Nobody cited the person. But the paper will hold relevance in that current paper. There are important insights in the paper that should be cited even if the paper is not within 5 years. I would accept that. But the panel said, as cited in Tyros 2024. The problem is, the paper has never been cited because we have problems with ethno-citations. A paper is cited only from the Western spheres. We know that. Okay. So next one, 40 words. You're allowed to quote without being accused of plagiarism. You can only quote until 40 words. Beyond this, you can paraphrase. A good writer paraphrases. Okay, so these are the tips to avoid plagiarism. There are only 4 requirements. You need to paraphrase or summarize long extracts. You need to provide an in-text citation, author, and location. Then you evaluate, you provide your own evaluation and reposition that within your context. And then you write the references. The absence of one will be tantamount to plagiarism. So all of the 4 should be met to avoid plagiarism. Okay, next one. When to use direct quotation. Next page. When do you use direct quotation? I know you're allowed to quote for 40 words, within 40 words, but you can in fact use even long, even beyond 40 words, you can quote the person or the author directly. Number 1, controversial line. The problem during the time of Duterte, the most difficult problem that journalists faced was how to quote a president or how to report a news report without quoting the president na nagmumura. Oh, that's a problem among journalists. How would you paraphrase a president who is supposed to be a diplomat na nagmumura? So it was hard for the writer to paraphrase because paraphrasing a controversial line can change the semantics, the meaning. So that's why don't blame the journalist. People would say the journalist is so biased because you're quoting the president's bad words and expression. Paano nga niya i-quote or i-paraphrase when the direct lines are controversial? The same in research when you paraphrase, that can mean changing the semantics and the meaning, then you have to be safe. Just quote that person, especially when you're using that definitions of terms as your concept when you're trying to address a particular study. This is an example from my study that I submitted to Oxford University Press. The red ones are the direct lines from an author. I can just paraphrase them, but I don't want to paraphrase because this is the concept that I'm using because I'm trying to get the identities of the teachers using the word of course. So I use this concept to cull and capture their identities. And I reposition my paper within this within this definition. So you can quote even if you can still paraphrase. Okay, next one, cite in text. To avoid plagiarism, you should be able to cite Munalim 2019 and so on. So this is part of my book, Style 1 according to Lim. Style 2, Santos 2019 argues that. Or Style 3, Love is Blind, Santos 2019. My question to you, among the three, dito si from School of Education, among the three, which one is the best in-text citation? 1, 2, or 3? I'll give you a surprise, a kiss. Which one among the three, sir? Number 1? Yes. No need a microphone. Okay, 1, 2, or 3? Is there one best style? Number 3. Okay, I think I asked the wrong question. Is there one best style? I will change that question. Is there one best style to cite? Well, remember, writing research is not a simple essay. For us to sound intellectual, kuno, we need to cite. Santos argues that. The question is there one best style? The answer is no. Imagine, class, your paper, your research, your thesis is like 109-page or 129-page thesis. And every paragraph, according to Abiliana 2019, second paragraph, according to Young 2021, Love is Blind. According to Benitez, come on. Language is about variability and variation. That's why it's called communication arts. There is art in communication. So you cannot just use 400-page article according to Munalim, according to Santos, mamatay na lang ako. You can vary your style to fit the flow and the fluid discussion in the paragraph. Next one, vary your citation style, and that's it, so that you'll be avoiding laundry lists of literature. Tip, this is not only the problem among the graduate school and the MA. I will tell you, sino ditong nagde-dissertation? Even dissertation writers, ito yung problem. Please do away with laundry lists. Laundry lists of literature stating just enumeration. Munalim said that love is blind. Abiliana 2019 said that love is poisonous. According to, what's your family name? Sornosa, 1998. Buhay ka na ba doon? Ay, pinanganak ka na doon? 1998, that love is mysterious. You're just enumerating without connecting one study over the other. You're not addressing convergences and divergence. So you can't just enumerate one paragraph according to, second paragraph according to, third paragraph according to. Come on, that's not critiquing. That's not evaluating. That's not being critical. Next one, research again is not a simple essay. So you need to cite in text according to, or Munalim said, or blank, and then Munalim, non-integral citation. Next one, do not overdo transitional devices. This is the problem among the world speakers or writers from Philippine English. We have concepts of world Englishes during the time of Krashru in 1990. This is a very, very dynamic field of inquiry in my field in applied linguistics. Filipinos who belong to the outer circle of world Englishes tend to overdo transitional devices. Ito yung transitional devices. First paragraph pa lang, in conclusion. First paragraph, in conclusion ka agad. Second paragraph, furthermore, love is blind. Third paragraph, likewise, love is mysterious. Fifth paragraph, moreover, do not overdo transitional devices like in addition, likewise, what else? Equally important to sound intellectual. In fact, if you compare speakers from other circles of world Englishes, native speakers they only use like 5% transitional device. But in our college days, we are taught to use, especially when you're taking IELTS, in furthermore, moreover, Do not overdo that in research. Okay, next one. Okay, this one. The red ones are the in-text citation. That's style number 3. One panel member said, ang dami namang citation. If there are no citations, panel members or reviewers would complain that there are no citations. But when there are citations like style number 3, the girl is smiling, the panel members or reviewers will say, too many citations. Okay, that's okay. In fact, when you're converting your paper to an IMRAD format, 8,000 words, even in Oxford, Cambridge University Press, you're asked to merge ideas all together in 8,000 words. So that will result in the squeezing of the ideas, and that will result in what we call, next line, the bulking of citations. So in one line, you can have in-close, in-text citation, like it could be 5 or 6. But my suggestion is it's not user-friendly. It's not reader-friendly. Do not overdo bulking of citations. You can just use it sparingly. But that has been used in many studies that I read internationally from SSCI journals because I do content analysis. That's okay, but I guess in our Philippine context, because not all of us would be amenable to that, use bulking of in-text citation sparingly. Okay, next one. The use of the word as cited in. Use only as cited in, next page, when the original material are not accessible. Of course, you've read a paper that is very good for your study, but you have not read the original work. The paper is written in another language. You don't know how to speak Spanish. So you can use as cited in, or not available in other geographical conditions or locations. The book is only available in Africa. Sige, pumunta kayo sa Africa just to get the book. But when somebody reviewed that paper, so you can just say, Love is Blind, according to Kim, 1820, as cited in Jimenez, 2023. Because there's no way for you to access the book. But please, class, don't do this. Next page. Wala ka nang ginawa kung as cited in? What does that mean? You heavily rely on secondary sources. You have never read the original source. You have not gone to the library and read the original work. You heavily rely on papers reviewed by others and claim it as your own. This is a manifestation that you are not a researcher. There are many open access books now and even journals. So this is a very wrong paper. It throws a very bad impression. Okay, next page. I'm almost done. Next page, that's done. Do not repeat what is only seen in the table. That's our problem. You have the table, you're just repeating the information. When you present table 1 and then you repeat in the paragraph, tanggalin mo na yan, either one. Tanggalin mo na lang kaya yung table. And then mag-discuss ka na lang. Di ba? Why are you repeating table and then you repeat? That's redundant. So when you present a table that's traditionally and normatively common, you present the table and make sense of it. You try to make sense of the data, especially for quali. Try to look at the deviation and try to make sense why this result happens. Why is this a predictable answer, or what makes it unpredictable, so that it can advance the scholarship, provide the reader something new. Next, we can mitigate bias. All researchers, whether it's quali or quanti, have biases. So we have observer's paradox by Labov. When you say observer's paradox, people change their behavior when they're being observed. That's why yung PBB, people would say, I am the winner because nagpakatotoo ako. Mali, plastic kayong lahat. Because you know exactly that you're observed by the whole country as long as there is still television. And then you said, I am the winner because I am real. Come on, you are plastic. You are hypocrite. Because all of us bring with us baggage of biases. in relation to research, there are biases. We can only mitigate them. How do you mitigate biases? It's up to you. Whether to apply mixed mode method, you can consider being reflexive, especially sa mga fine arts and music. When you report something, you bring with you your experiences. So you consider reflexibility, positionality, what you know and what you do with what you know. That's positionality and reflexibility. And you also consider research situatedness. Because again, we have all our biases. In fact, the moment Duterte sat as the president, I collected headlines because I wanted to test whether ABS-CBN is biased. I have collected like thousands of headlines. But I know I have political leanings, but do I bring that political leanings when I discuss the result? I should not, because I should acknowledge what I know and what I do with what I know so that I can mitigate biases. And last, before I end, this is the important thing. And again pala, in talking about mitigation of biases, you also consider the term emic. Do you know the word? Emic and ethic perspective. What do you mean by emic? Are you an insider or an outsider, an ethic analyst? Because that can impinge on the way you analyze a particular result. So, and the last but not the least, it's okay to self-cite. Ano problema? Kung I acknowledge myself, I love myself, I'm writing my paper, another paper, I said Munalim 2019, oh, that's my paper. I love myself. That's self-love. Okay? That's education. Si ano ha? Susumbungi kita kay Dean Padua. That's self-love. It's okay. I've read many papers, Oxford, Cambridge, Routledge. Look at their papers. They cite their own papers. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. As long as the paper is relevant to the ongoing discussion. Okay, so last, if you have concerns, you can contact my dear, my ever-beloved administrative assistant from Research and Development Office and School of Arts and Sciences, Miss Maymay. Where is Miss Maymay? Okay, si Maymay is there. Mahal ko yan. Okay, you can email her if you have concern related to RDO. And last, because, of course, we are PWU. We are from Philippine Women's University. This is the message that I would love to share with you because I am a Taylor Swift fan. So I am a Swiftie. All researchers should wait to go Tiger, higher and higher, wilder and lighter. Everyone will read it. I am a patriot and way to go Tiger, higher and higher, wilder and lighter. Come on, go. I am a patriot. Of course. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Dr. Manalim, for your enriching insights into research methodologies and best practices. Indeed, your expertise sets a high standard for academic excellence. Before we proceed to the next topic, and I'm here at the back with some of our graduate school students, just like to ask some questions. Ayan. Sir, can I ask for... Ayan, magtatahanap lang tayo. Sir, can I ask for your name, your program, and your current year level?
So, good morning everyone. My name is Vergel Aaron Prado and I am from the School of Music and I am taking a master's course in music education.
Wow, music education. Sir, how's your experience so far here at PWU?
So, sir, I actually work here. So, I'm very excited to expand my knowledge on music and I want to prepare myself for my classes, which is why I took this course.
Thank you, yan. Napakaganda naman yon. Yes, let's have another one before we head on to our ethics, our discussion on ethics. Ma'am, can I ask for your name, your program, and how long have you been here in PWU Grad School?
Hello, my name is Jansen Micah Fajardo, and I'm taking MA in Foreign Service. This is actually my first year, so I'm very excited to finally be in grad school. And of course, I'm looking forward to having our Dean, Ambassador Manalo, to guide us in the graduate school.
Thank you very much. That's what's good with PWU, diba? We do boast a number of programs that are suitable for each and every one of us. All designed to ignite the passion within us. So now let us shift our focus on another crucial aspect of research, especially on the essential requirements for ethics review and research as we uphold the values of integrity and responsibility in our academic pursuits. I'll be the one presenting it, but later we'll have Dr. Menchita Dumlao, the Program Chair of Information Technology and the Chairperson of PWU Research Ethics Review Board, to answer your questions in your open forum. So here are the requirements for ethics review for anyone here who's already taking their thesis writing or dissertation writing. So here, for those who would need an ethics review, the following are the requirements. So first is the registration and application form, to be followed by the protocol assessment form, study protocol, data collection forms, CV of primary investigator and study team members, proof of payment of ethics review fee as applicable, proof of anti-plagiarism report with less than 20% similarity index, certification of approved title, certification of approval of manuscript, informed consent assessment form, an informed consent form in English, informed consent form in local language, for students with human participants, an assessment form in English, and assessment form in local language. Again, for inquiries, this is the most important part because I know the text is quite small for you to take a picture. But we'll be sending this to you all. But for inquiries, please do send an email to Ma'am Hazel Bathan at hmbathan, that is HMBATHAN at pwu.edu.ph. At doon naubos yung energy ko. Hindi, joke. Now, before we proceed further, let us inject a bit of fun into our gathering with an exciting icebreaker. We'll be hosting a Kahoot game where quick thinking and knowledge will be a key. Get ready, get your phones up, put your thinking caps on, because the fastest finger will win some exciting prizes. Let's have, and kindly go to www.kahoot.it and use the game pin 2325901. You might have problems scanning the QR code because of its placement in the monitor. Again, I do highly suggest for you to go instead to www.kahoot.it and use the game pin 2325901. We are also inviting those that are watching in our YouTube Live to be with us and join. Make sure to use a unique nickname for us to be able to identify you so that you could get your prizes. We'll be giving you an ample amount of time to join. One of our the winners will have 5 questions. Each winner of each question, for the winners of each question, will get a special PWU mug that you could use while you're writing your thesis or your dissertation while sipping a cup of coffee. Keep it running. Ayan, sige po. Ayan, a question will be flashed po on your phones, and then you could use, later on we'll have a test question so that for those who are not yet familiar with Kahoot, you could go in and check. Again, the winner will be of the fastest finger. let's have, ayan, we're already on the 70 mark. Ayan. Sige, ayan, let's have the first question. So this is again just a test question for you to get a glimpse on what will be, on how to use the gaming app. So again, just like this one, a question will be flashed. And I'll be reading off the choices and then you could click on the answers on your screen. So that's easy, di ba? Ganun lang siya kadali. Di ba? For a very special prize of PWU mug. Six, five, four, three, two, one, and ayan. So that's how you technically use it. Ayan, and then when you click on the next, we'll check if whoever is Shelly, ayan, if is she, yan. So that's how we determine who is the winner. So whoever got to the top, that's the fastest finger, okay? We're clear with that? Everyone's clear? Okay, so this is your first official question. Let's have, are we going to give the mug here? Okay, ready? Ayan, and the first question is, which of the following documents is not a requirement to be submitted by a foreign student based in the Philippines? Is it red, photocopy of passport, bio page, and visa? Blue, certificate of good moral character? Yellow, ID picture? Or green, police clearance certificate? Two, one, and the correct answer is police clearance certificate. Ayan, so it's not needed. Ayan, to be submitted by, again, ayan, it's Kevin. Is Kevin here or online? Who is Kevin? Ayan, I think if Kevin is online, just go and message us at the YouTube video, Sir Mark or message Sir Mark Harvey Adamson to be able to get your special prize. Now let's have the second question. Arranged in chronological order the process to graduate in PWU grad school. Drag the boxes in chronological order and make sure that it is correct. Do not forget to click submit. Ayan. Kita ba siya sa likod? Parang nanliliit yung mata ng mga nanonood din. Ayan. Sige. Okay, I think we got a number of answers already. And the correct answer is, ayan, it should be in the following order. You should first need to complete the academic program, pass the written comprehensive exam, pass the final oral defense, and then submit for clearance in order to graduate. And ayan, Kevin again is whoever is Kevin, please do message us. Ayan, for Hey J, Ray, Sab, and Kimo. Ayan, keep up, we could get it to the top. Let's have the next question. What is the most convenient way to request for access to the university online references? Again, the most convenient way. Go to PWU campus, send an email to the whole PWU community, email administrators, or send an email to the university library. Ayan, parang Who Wants to be a Millionaire? Napakabilis pumindot. And ayan, most of us got the right answer, and the fastest finger is Ray. Who is Ray? Is Ray here? Hi, ayan. Well, Ray is here po. Ayan, you could go to the back later. Ayan, could you raise your hand again for our organizers to see you? Ayan. you have your very special prize of PWU mug. And ayan, next question. Who is the PWU Graduate School Director? Ayan, very easy. Is it Dr. Emerita Zornoza, Dr. Ina Abrico, Dr. Patrick James Nabata, or Dr. Leonardo Manalim? Ang bilis nung pindot natin, di ba? We already have 80 answers. I guess we could check on the correct answer. Ayan. Yan! May sumagot kay Sir Patrick. Ayan. This is a running joke at the back earlier. So who has the fastest finger? Hey Jay, is Hey Jay here? Hey Jay is here po. Ayan, kindly raise your hand na lang po so for us to be able to give you your prize. And ayan, our final question. How old is the Philippine Women's University? Is it 105, 50, 100, or 103? And the correct answer is 105. Yes. So who has the fastest finger? Ay, nagano agad siya. Well, check. Ayan. Okay, is Hey Jay here? Ayan, so Kimo. Ayan, so Kimo will get a free PW mug. Ayan. You could use it during your sleepless nights while thinking for a research topic, as suggested earlier by Dr. Leo. Congratulations again to everyone. So following our enriching discussions and presentation, it's now time to open the floor for an open forum. So this is your opportunity to raise questions, share insights, and engage in dialogue with our esteemed speakers and fellow attendees. May we request our speakers to go up on stage to open the floor for the open forum. Let's have Okay, and do we have any questions from the floor? Sige po. Ayan, sige. Ayan, thank you very much. Thank you for this. Ayan, for us to have a more engaging discussion. Ayan. When you ask, and we would like to again stand up, state your name for you to be addressed properly in your program, and then state your question. And who do you want to ask the question with? Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is either from Dr. Zornosa or Sir Fernan. I just completed my master's degree last term and now in my doctoral program now. I don't know the next steps after I paid for my graduation fees. So I paid the 4,880 yata yon, and I don't know the next steps already. So can you guide me what should I do next after paying for the grad fees?
Sir, have you submitted the general clearance
Yes,
already?
nakiano na rin po.
And if you have submitted the general clearance and then your graduation documents is already lined up for processing.
Well, sir, so who should I follow up, for example? Kasi since graduation is already September 2, am I right? So who will update us regarding the graduation process na po?
Graduation process, sir. The commencement committee will do that, sir, through the usually the social media accounts of the university.
Okay pa. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
We have another question here. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I'm Donna Malvar. I'm a returning thesis writing under the School of Nutrition. I started my thesis in 2021, but I asked for an LOA since I was requested by the school that I am in to rest for 3 years since I am new and undergoing their pedagogy. And now I'm continuing my thesis writing. The thing po is, I learned about the ethics review, but I've already conducted my thesis. I just recently commenced my data gathering. So my problem is, will it invalidate the data that I gathered?
So you're saying that you start, I mean your paper was approved in 2020,
Yes, 2021 po. I was able to defend my chapters 1 to 3.
but prior to the data collection, you did not submit your paper to the ethics review?
I just submitted to my panelist po, but
You missed that part.
yes po.
Okay. So now you have finished collecting data.
Yes po.
And then
Just
you're coming back now.
I enrolled po last sem and this trimester, this term.
Okay. So first is the timeline of your study.
Yes.
I think you need to reconsider asking your panel if the data that you have collected in 2020 will still be valid if you will present it
Oh,
today. Because it's been 4
so-
years
sorry po.
already.
The data collection was conducted just recently and I just commenced it.
This 2024,
Yes po,
you
yes po.
collected it.
Yes po, when I came back from my absence.
But you missed the part.
The part
Why
of,
did you miss it? You should have
I
missed
missed
that.
po the ethics review.
Why? Actually, ethics review is applicable prior to data collection. That's the essence of ethics
Yes,
review.
yes
So
po,
it means
missed.
before you can collect, we have to check and we need to guide you on some ethical procedures.
Yes po.
So actually, that's the problem because
That's my dilemma.
it is really intended prior.
Yes.
So, I mean, in terms of that, the main reason why you are having ethics review, number one is if in case some of your respondents will file a complaint with some things that happened during the data collection, that is the way to protect you and to
Yes.
guide you. So anyway, we have this second part of the ethics, which is the post-review.
All right.
So after you submitted and after you finished your paper, you have to submit to us the post-review.
All right po.
But
so that
it's-
will be
Yeah,
the
but I
coming
hope
days.
students will not do that. Okay? It means you missed one part of
I
it.
missed one part po because I was trying to reach my advisor. Unfortunately, we're both busy. So
Okay,
and
so I
wanted
wish
to
you good luck.
graduate.
So even if you missed that part, you can still submit to Hazel
All right po.
so that we can habang hindi ka pa habang hindi ka pa nakapag-submit ng results,
Yes po.
we can give you advice on some ethical parts of your paper before you present it in your final defense.
Yes po.
Okay.
Thank you po, Doc.
Thank you very much. Ian, any other questions on the floor, or do we have questions on our online platform? Do we have going once? Naging reading. Okay, so Ian, thank you very much to our guests. And again, if you do have questions, always remember that our university services are always open for you to answer your queries. And you could also send them an email. Okay. Once again, Ian, palakpakan naman natin. Thank you very much to our esteemed guests for today's activity. As we draw near to the end of our gathering, filled with insightful discussions, and engaging interactions, please help me welcome for his closing remarks, the exuberant program chair of the School of Pharmacy and the OIC of School of Medical Technology, Professor Mark Harvey Adamson.
Thank you, Sir Emil. First of all, let's congratulate the Office of the Graduate Study headed by Dr. Emerita Sornosa for conducting this successful event. Let's give her a big round of applause, please. And also, I would like to acknowledge the support of all the deans and program chairs of the different programs. Let's give them a big round of applause for continuously supporting our students, especially the graduate students. And also, let's congratulate and let's give a big round of applause to the support services of the university, the registrar's office, the library, the multimedia department, the admissions office, the marketing, and all the departments are actually helping all the students to further provide good services to all of you. Let's give them a big round of applause. And to our organizers, our support team, the multimedia headed by Sir Bob Thomas, let's give them a big round of applause at the back. Please, thank you so much. So again, we are happy to see all of you. Let's continue to support the university. Let's continue to strive and provide a culture of excellence, innovation, collaborations, and respect among us. And let's continue to support our beloved institution, the Philippine Women's University. If you need any assistance, if you need anything, just please do not hesitate to contact us, to contact the graduate school department so that we can all help you. So together, let's march on, Patriots, and I hope you enjoyed today's event and see you all and good luck to all of you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Sir Mark Harvey Adamson. Before we bid farewell, we kindly ask all participants to take a moment to provide feedback on today's event by scanning the QR code displayed on the screen, which we will also be sending to you via your email. Your insights are very valuable to us as we strive to continuously improve and tailor our future gatherings to better meet your needs. We also like to inform everyone to stay after the singing of the PWU hymn for our photo opportunity. Again, we are asking everyone to stay after the singing of the PWU hymn for our photo opportunity. And now, may I request everyone to stand as we unite our voices in pride and reverence and sing the Philippine Women's University hymn. Once again, thank you very much, everyone. So for our photo opportunity, may we please request everyone to compress, and our photographer will be up on stage. And so may we please request everyone to go in the middle of this, Conrado Benitez Hall.